program before they fully reopen. Now, despite this pandemic, the organization Big Brothers Big Sisters is still keeping true with its mission of helping the community. It's out there serving people. And here to tell us more is Marcus Allen. He is CEO of the local Big Brothers Big Sisters agency. So first off, Marcus, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Stephanie.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you because we saw those amazing pictures from yesterday. Volunteers with your agency were out helping dozens of local families who are struggling. Tell us more about what you guys did.
So yesterday we were able to deliver 100 community care packages to deserving littles and their families. And so it was amazing. And so we had so many partners that came out. And for many of your viewers, they know that our mission is to create and support one-to-one mentoring relationships that ignite the promise and the power of our youth. And so we see that this COVID-19 pandemic has created some challenges that we had to adjust to. And one of those adjustments was we know that our families are in need of essential items. And so we serve 95% of our kids and families live below the poverty line. And so we know that there's some unique challenges that come along with that. And so we had some partners who said, hey, we want to do something. And so within a 2-week time frame, we had Arnold's Office Furniture that donated 4,000 masks, N95 masks. We had Delta Epsilon Boule in New Jersey that donated puzzles. How Group donated non-perishable items. Rittenhouse Realty, Giant, Wawa, new nonprofit Persevere Purpose. And so all of these different groups came together to do something special for our families yesterday.
Now, we have to ask, your organization does a lot of work. Naturally, a lot of nonprofits have had to adjust how they do things because of this pandemic. How has your organization been handling everything?
So one of the things we started to invest in last 2 years ago was technology. And so when this happened, we were almost seamlessly able to transfer all of our work online, virtual. And so what we've been able to do, and I'm proud to say this, we serve almost 3,000 bigs and littles across the southeastern Pennsylvania and southern New Jersey. All of our bigs and littles are still maintaining their contact virtually, whether it be through phone, text, Zoom. So they're having all of these really awesome things that are happening with them, and our bigs are learning so much of what's happening with our littles. We even had bigs showing littles how to make masks. We have them talking about helping with homework, all sorts of things that we've been able to do on Zoom and in the virtual environment that honestly, some of this stuff we weren't even able to do before COVID because we had to relax some of our restrictions so that our bigs could communicate more with their littles. And so COVID has, if there's one bright spot, it has made us more innovative and it's challenged us to be more effective in this environment. And so we know we have to do that because many of our families lack access to basic human needs. They lack access for safety. Schools are closed. Kids are feeling more lonely now. And so one of the things that we're trying to get people to stop using is the term social distancing, because we believe that term actually harms our kids. And we ask people to say physical distancing rather than social distancing, because the last thing at this moment in time is for our kids to feel like they're socially distant. And we want to embrace them in a virtual hug to let them know that we're here for them.
I have to ask a follow-up question to that. So now that you were talking about social distancing and obviously in keeping in mind with what your organization does, have mentors been reaching out more to the littles and talking more frequently via FaceTime? I mean, how has that worked?
Yeah, so we've seen that particularly in our we have a Beyond School Walls program that Comcast is one of our biggest supporters of. We've seen that our bigs have been able to maintain even more frequent contact with our littles. Also, we've been able to get even more information, believe it or not, through this virtual environment than we were face-to-face. And I believe a lot of times, at least the research shows that littles or young people are willing to be more open when it's through a virtual environment than in a face-to-face environment. And so that has meant that we've had to make certain adjustments because of some of the information we're hearing. Unfortunately, we're hearing a lot of abuse that's happening in households. We're hearing kids running away from home because when you have kids sheltering in place in an environment that may not be appropriate for kids to stay in that environment 24/7, 7 days a week, a lot of interesting challenges start to appear. And so now we're having to really support our bigs in a different way because they are beginning to hear information that they normally wouldn't have to deal with, and now we're having to deal with. But I think what it's also doing is allowing us to really get into that home and understand what's happening with that family.
Now, Marcus, we are running out of time, but just a quick 5 seconds. If people want to get involved with your organization, where do they go? If you could just give us your website.
Yep, they can go right to our website, independencebigs.org, independencebigs.org.
All right, Marcus Allen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Stephanie.
And now we're going to send things on over to NBC 10 meteorologist Crystal Clark.